Open your book to page 64. This is lesson 2.10. And this lesson is to add and subtract unlike fractions. Unlike fractions means you have the different denominators. That means, I can use the example of pizzas. That means your slices are different sizes. So you have a problem. So you cannot add when they're different sizes. So what you need to do, you need to make into common denominator. Means you have to make the slices the same size before you can add. Okay? And so we're going to go over some examples and make sure you follow the steps. I'm going to write down the steps so you can follow. Okay, so let's go to example 1. So on page 65, example 1, you have 1/2 plus 2/3. So first step you need to do is you need to get LCD. So step 1, get your LCD. So LCD by inspection, you can see that this is going to be equal to 6. So that's your step 1. Now step 2 is you want to get your fraction ready. And you want to put common denominator down here. So that's it. That's your step 2. You're getting ready. Okay? So make sure you get the fraction over denominator, fraction over denominator. So that's your step 2. Make sure you follow the steps. Or else you're going to get confused and you're going to lose track and you're going to get stuck. Okay, so let's go to step 3. Now step 3 is you have to figure out how you're going to get from here to here. So from here to here, you need to multiply by 3. So in other words, to make into, I can use the example of pizzas. To make the slices the same size, you have to cut each slice into 3. Okay? And so 2 times 3 give you 6. So 1 times 3 will give you 3. Okay? And so over here, so basically what you have is that you have half of the pizza, right? And this one you have 2/3 of the pizza. Okay? So now to add, there are different sizes. So what you do is you cut it into 6. So you cut it into like this. So that's how you get 3 out of 6, right? So 1, 2, 3 out of 6. This one, again, you're going to cut into 6. And so you need to multiply by 2, right? So 3 times 2 give you 6. So in other words, you make every slice equal to 2. And so when you do that, 2 slices times 2 give you 4, right? Again, you can count that, right? So over here, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So it become 4 out of 6. So that's what you're doing. You're cutting the slices so that they're the same size, and so you can add. So step 3 is figure out what you need to multiply. Step 4 is multiply out so you can figure out your numerators. Then after that, step 5 is going to add it together. So 3 plus 4 give you 7, and 7/6, and that's it. Okay, let's go to example 2. You have the 4/5 minus 3/10. So you can step 1, you need to get your LCD. So you can do it by inspection. You can see LCD is equal to 10. But let's say if you don't see that. Okay, let's say if you didn't see that. So what you do is you use the technique you learned, right? The ladder method, so 5 and 10. So both are divisible by 5. So divide by 5, you get 1 and 2. So your LCD is all this together. So LCD, so step 1, LCD is equal to 10, right? 5 times 1 times 2 give you 10. So step 2, get the fraction ready. Again, that's what you do. Don't do anything else. You just put the LCD down on the bottom. That's what you do. That's your step 2. Step 3, you figure out how you're going to get from here to here. So in other words, in order to make it the same size, the pizza, right? In order to make the same sizes, you have to make every pizza the 10 slices. So right now you have 5 slices. To make it into 10, you have to cut each one into 2, right? So that's why you have to multiply by 2. So you have to cut into 2. So now you have 4 slices and you cut into 2 for each one, it becomes 8, right? Okay, so you have to multiply. This one is the same already. You don't have to do anything to it, so it stay the same. And so step 5, you go and subtract, you get 5/10, right? 8 minus 3 give you 5. And then after that you reduce, both are divisible by 5. So divide by 5, you get 1. Divide by 5, you get 2. And put it equal over here. So answer would be equal to 1/2. Okay, let's go to next example. Let's go to example 3. Example 3, you have a 5/6 plus 3/10 plus 4/15. Again, first you need to do is you need to get the LCD, the lowest common factor. So use 6, 10, and 15. And as in the previous lesson, when you do that, when you're doing the LCD, as long as two of the number can divide, you can go and do that. So both these are even, so you can divide by 2. So you get 3. And 10 divided by 2, you get 5. This one you cannot divide exactly, so leave it alone. And after that, you can divide by 3 or 5, doesn't matter. Because both of these can divide by 3, right? So these two. So divide by 3. And you're going to try to, if you can, whenever you can, try to go in order. It's like 2, 3, 5, 7. Okay? So 3 divided by 3, you get 1. 5 divided by 3, cannot, so you leave it alone. 15 divided by 3, it's 5. And now, notice you got two 5s, right? So you can divide by 5, so you get 1. Right? Again, if you cannot divide, you leave the number alone. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. 5 divided by 5 is 1. So your step 1, your LCD, is equal to all this together. So 2 times 5 is 10. Right? 2 times 5 is 10 times 3 give you 30. Right? And when you times by 1, it doesn't do anything. Okay, so LCD is 30. So let's do the step 2. I'm shifting it over so I got space. So I get 30 plus 30 plus over 30. Right? So again, that's your step 2. Get your LCD ready. You have to prepare for it. Then you do the step 3. You have to figure out how you're going to get from here to here. You have to multiply by 5. Right? So do the step 3 and 4 on the same term together. Right? So you have to multiply by 5. So 6 times 5 give you 30. So 5 times 5 give you 25. Now you go to the next term. To go from 10 to 30, you need to multiply by 3. So 10 times 3 give you 30. So 3 times 3 give you 9. Next one, from 15 to 30, you need to multiply by 2. So when you multiply by 2, right, so 15 times 2, you have to check, right? 15 times 2 give you 30. So 4 times 2 give you 8. Okay, so now you're ready to add all this together. So step 5, go and add all this together. So you're going to get, so 25 plus 9 give you 34, plus 8 give you 42 over 30. Now make sure when you're done, you have to do step 6. Step 6 is when you simplify, you lower the numbers. So both these are even, so you can divide by 2. So divide by 2, you get 21. Divide by 2, you get 15. And this you can cannot divide by 2 anymore, so you try 3. And when you divide by 3, you get 7. Divide by 3, you get 5. Okay? And put equal. So the answer would be 7 over 5. Okay? Again, just leave it as an improper fraction. Don't waste your time, making to mixed numbers. Just leave it. That's good enough. Okay, let's go to example 4. You're adding 3 over 16 plus 5 over 12 plus 5 over 24. So again, first you have to get your LCD. So let's do the 16, 12, and 24. So you can divide by 2, right? All these are even. As long as two numbers can divide, you can go and do it already. You don't have to wait for all 3. So 16 divided by 2, it gives you 8. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 24 divided by 2 is 12. And you can divide by 2 again, so let's divide by 2. Right? All these are even, right? So divide by 2, 8 divided by 2 give you 4. 6 divided by 2 give you 3. 12 divided by 2 give you 6. And then you can divide by 2 again because there are 2 evens over here. Right? As long as two numbers can divide, you can go and do it. So divide by 2, you get 2. 3 divided by 2 cannot, so you leave it. 6 divided by 2, you get 3. So now you got 2 3s, so you can divide by 3. If you cannot divide, you leave it. 3 divided by 3, you get 1. 3 divided by 3, you get 1. So your LCD is all this together. So your LCD is all this together. So you multiply all together. Okay, so 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. 8 times 6, right? You can try to break it up evenly and make it a little bit easier to multiply. And use your finger if you can, right? So this is 6. This is 8, right? 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So 6 times 8 is 48. So step 1, LCD is 48. So now you do your step 2. Now give yourself enough space. Give yourself enough space to do work. So you have over 48, over 48, over 48. Right? So again, that's your step 2. Get your denominator ready. Then you do step 3. Get your numerator. So from 16 to 48, you need to multiply by 3. So 16 times 3 give you 48. So 3 times 3 give you 9. So that's your step 4. So step 3 is to figure out what you need to multiply. And step 4 is multiplying it out. So over here, step 3, from here to here, you need to multiply by 4. So step 4, 5 times 4 will give you 20. Over here, from here to here, you need to multiply by 2. And so 5 times 2 give you 10. So your step 5 is adding all this together. So 20 plus 10 is 30, plus 9 is 39 over 48. So that's your step 5. Then step 6, you have to check. Make sure that you see if you can reduce. So again, you can check your, by adding digits, right? 3 plus 9 is 12, so you can divide by 3. This is 12, can divide by 3. So divide by 3, you get 13. Divide by 3, you get 16. So your answer, step 6, is 13 over 16. And that's your answer for example 4. Okay, so let's go and do more examples. Let's do one more example. Let's go to page 67 and let's go and do example 7. Yeah, 1 over 6 plus 2 over 3 plus 3 over 4. Okay, so again, get your LCD, so 6, 3, and 4. So this can divide by 2, right? As long as 2 numbers can divide, you can go and do it. So 2 divided by 2, you get 3. 3 divided by 2 cannot, so you leave it alone. 4 divided by 2, you get 2. Now you got 2, 3, so you can divide by 3, so you get 1, 1. Again, if you cannot divide, you leave it alone. So your LCD, your step 1, your LCD is going to all this together. So this will equal to 12. So step 2, get your denominator ready, right? So that's your step 2. That's all you're going to do. Don't do anything with the top yet. So you go to step 3, figure out how you're going to get from here to here. So you need to multiply by 2. So when you multiply, your step 4 is multiply out, right? So from 3 to 12, you need to multiply by 4. So when you multiply, 3 times 4 is 12. 2 times 4 give you 8. Over here, you need to multiply by 3. Right? 4 times 3 give you 12. So 3 times 3 will give you 9. So now, step 5, you're going to add this together. So 2 plus 8 is 10, plus 9 is 19 over 12. And that's it. Again, don't waste your time convert into mixed numbers. You can just leave it as that, and that's good enough.